Hello, everybody, and welcome to our lesson about ba today. Let's go and get started. Okay, ba means if, and we're going to show you how to use it today. The following kind of sentences. Let's check these out. If it rains, then we can't go. If it's warm, then that will be good. If you drink this medicine, then you will get better. Looks like I missed a period. My bad. If you study every day, then you will get smarter. All right. So, ba is the grammar that we need to be able to say these sentences. Let's go ahead and see how it works. Okay. The first point that I want to hit on is how to use ba, because it has kind of a unique nuance. So, when you say if, you usually have two sentences going on. You have the first sentence, also known as a clause, which is your conditional clause. If condition. So let's go back to those examples before where we saw if it rains. That is a condition, and it's our first clause. Then we have a second clause. In this sentence, it's then we can't go. When you are using ba, your second clause needs to either be a result or invitation slash recommendation slash piece of advice. Now, something like that. Also down here, I also included with result. It could be a supposition or a hypothesis. Let's go back up here and look at these sentences. We have our condition in the second one, if it's warm. Then we have a result here. The result is, that will be good. It's kind of one's opinion, right? If it is warm, then that will be good. Here's another result. If you drink this medicine, then you will get better. The condition is drinking medicine. The result is you will get better. Here's another one. If you study every day, then you will get smarter. So these are a lot of examples of conditions leading to certain results, and ba is what we would use in these situations. There are other types of grammar in Japanese which can also do this same job, but we're not going to go over those today. Now, ba can also be used if in that second clause you want to give an invitation, recommendation, or a little piece of advice using volitional form. And if that didn't really make any sense, then check out this next slide. Yeah, because here we have Japanese examples and English examples for this invitation, recommendation, and advice stuff. So let's go ahead and jump to number 2. Down here. It says, if condition, then invitation, recommendation, advice. And here we go. The first sentence says, if it rains, then let's stay home. As you can see, we have the same condition, if it rains. But now, our second clause is an invitation to not go out, to stay home. If it rains, then let's stay home. Let's start looking at the Japanese. 雨が降れば、うちにいよう. If it rains, then let's stay home. 雨が降れば、うちにいよう. Let's look at the next one in this category. This one is also an invitation. If you come to Japan, then let's meet up. 日本に来れば会おう. Last one is more of a piece of advice or a recommendation, but still is using the volitional form, but this time it's polite. Look at the Japanese. 風邪をひけば薬を飲みましょう. And again, 風邪をひけば薬を飲みましょう. Now, let's go back to talking about when our second clause is a result. We have the condition clause followed by a result clause in these examples here. First one is, if it rains, then we cannot go. 雨が降ればいけません. In this second example, the result is different. It is, that would be nice. And here we have, if it is warm, as our condition coming before it. Altogether, in Japanese, it is, 暖かければいいね. Now, this uses an e adjective, and we're going to talk about the construction in just a little bit. Good example, we have, if you drink this medicine, then you will get better. Patient is drinking the medicine. The result is getting better. この薬を飲めば元気になりますよ. Now, I want to point out the fact that this isn't necessarily a 100% true result, but this is someone's hypothesis or something that they suppose. Now, we'll talk about what grammar you should use when the result is 100% for sure certain, because it's actually not ba. More on that in the future, though. Let's look at this last example here. We have, if you study every day, then you will get smarter. 毎日勉強すれば頭が良くなります. Okay, so I was about to get ahead of myself just a little bit ago, talking about the construction, but now we're going to really get into it. We're going to talk about the following parts of speech. First, verbs, then e-adjectives, then not adjectives and nouns. So, verbs are divided into 3 categories, right? We have our ichidans, godans, and irregulars. Let's say you are using an ichidan first. On this right side of the slide, we have the ichidan verb for to eat, taberu, dictionary form. Now, you take an ichidan in its dictionary form, and the first thing you want to do is get to its stem. Don't remember, the stem of an ichidan is the dictionary form without the do. So you remove the do, and you have tabe. Then you have to add a re, tabere. Then once you have that, you can add a ba, tabereba, and that means if the subject eats, if eat. So let's look at this example that does that. It means if you eat a lot, then your stomach will hurt. たくさん食べればお腹が痛くなります. Let's say, though, that you want to use a godan verb instead of an ichidan. A verb like yomu. Yomu means to read. What you need to do is take yomu, which is currently in its dictionary form, and put it in its 4th base. Or in other words, the stem that ends in the e vowel. For yomu, that would be yome. Now, after you've gotten to yome, you can then add the ba, and you have if the subject reads. In this example, the sentence means if you read it well, you will understand it. It is yoku yomeba wakarimasu. Now, I haven't had it written down here, but I will describe what to do if you are using suru. Suru becomes sure. Then you can add ba to sure. Say, if do. I wanted to say, if I do tennis or if I play tennis, that would be tenisu sureba. Or I could use the particle o and say tenisu wo sureba. Let's look at an example or go ahead and listen to my example of if you study. That would be benkyou sureba. In a full sentence, that means if you study, you will get smarter. I could say 勉強すれば頭が良くなります. Let's hear that again. 勉強すれば頭が良くなります. Now, let's look at the next part of speech, which is adjectives. For using e-adjectives, very first thing that we have to do, get to the stem of the e-adjective, which is merely removing the e from the e-adjective. And I'm talking about the e on the end of the e-adjective. So, once you've done that, then you need to add kere. No other part of speech does this. Only e-adjectives add kere. And then once you've done that, you add ba. So, if I am using the adjective good, which in Japanese is i or yoi, I need to first use the yoi version of that adjective. And then, like I said earlier, you remove the e to get the stem. Now that we have the stem, we can add kereba, and it means if it's good. Yokereba. In this first example here, we have, if the weather is good tomorrow, let's play tennis. 明日天気が良ければテニスをしましょう. Now, in this second example, I'm using the e adjective, which means painful or hurts. 痛い. Took itai, removed the e, and added kereba to ita, giving me itakereba. In this example, it says, if my head hurts tomorrow, then I won't go to school. 明日頭が痛ければ学校に行きません. Now, present tense negative verbs in the plain form can also be turned into if clauses. Now, what I mean by that, I can take a word like imasen and say in the plain form, which is ganai, and then use the same process that I use with other e adjectives to say if do not verb. Let's look at this example here on the right that uses to read. I started out with yomu, went to the first that ends in the ah vowel, which is yoma. Then I added nai, yoma nai. From here, it's just like any other e adjective, where you would replace the e with kereba, and we get yoma nakereba, which means if the subject does not read. Let's look at these two examples, which use negative present tense verbs in form with ba. First example is, if you do not go to school, you won't get smarter. ここに行かなければ頭が良くなりません. Second example means, if you do not rest more, your cold won't improve. もっと休まなければ風邪が治りませんよ. Now, this is a very important thing to remember, because next couple of lessons start learning about how to say must in Japanese. And the grammar for must uses this negative verb construction. Let's move on to the next part of speech, which is the not adjective. Not adjectives and nouns are treated in the same way when using ba. And what you need to do is, after the noun, you add nara. The interesting thing is, you actually do not necessarily need to have a ba. Ba can be left off. It is optional, as is shown here by the parentheses. Which is why we can say both, like is written in this first example. If it is water, then it is okay. Mizu nara daijoubu desu. And mizu naraba daijoubu desu. Both of those mean the same thing and are both okay to use. My personal opinion, I believe that adding a ba to nara has a more polite impression. So if I said mizu naraba daijoubu desu, a little bit more polite. Let's look at the second example, which means Japanese food, I will eat it. 日本料理なら食べます. Here, we can also add the ba. Okay. 日本料理ならば食べます. And it is also okay. Well, that is all for today's lesson. I hope that this was helpful in getting you to understand this piece of Japanese grammar. If you have questions, do not hesitate to send me a message or leave a comment. I will do my best to get back to you promptly. Thank you so much, and have an excellent day. じゃ、またね。